All right. What's up, everybody? It's that 80s dude. Welcome to the live session. All right, with the chat with Corey Feldman, you guys. Let's have everybody hop on. I'm waiting for Corey to jump on. So today we're going to be chatting with Corey Feldman about his new film. It's dropping tomorrow on demand on Prime Video and Apple TV Plus. And if you don't know anything about the film, I'm going to sum it up for you. Basically, it's an indie, budgeted version in the realm of Ready Player One. It's mixed with different 80s flicks we loved. And it's full of 80s movie tropes, which I absolutely love. And I was able to screen it a couple of days ago, and I think it's fun. It's a great family flick that you're all going to have to check out, okay? And it's a great way to close 2024. So thank you, Corey, for making this film with Todd and the folks with the Going Viral team. Appreciate you guys. And for us older kids, you're going to really love all the Easter eggs in this parallel universe set in an 80s backdrop. And for the younger kids, you guys they're going to enjoy the main idea, which is basically about a high school nerd that makes a deal with an artificial intelligence to become popular, and it all sort of backfires. So there it is, Going Viral movie. There it is, you guys. Make sure you're following that page. Let me go ahead and try to find Corey here. C-Dog. Here we go. C-Dog, what's up, man?
Hello.
Hey, man, welcome. Welcome to that 80s Dude channel. I appreciate you being on here and making time for me.
Thanks, man. Dude. In fact, let me see if I can get some filter action on here.
All right, man, do it. Do it.
Let's see what.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Glowing,
hey.
silent night.
Hey, man, we've got a whole bunch of people from all over the world. We've got Brazil in here. We've got England.
Brazil, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
Hey, Corey, listen, again, thank you so much for making time for me. I know you're really busy and you're promoting this movie, dropping, going viral, dropping.
The future.
Look at that.
The future, yes. Going viral.
That's awesome. Hey,
I'm in the midst of transitioning right now from some other alternate reality. So
that's awesome, man.
I come in where I can, man.
That's awesome. Hey, I want to show you this shirt I'm wearing right now. Check it out. Who's that guy?
Hot. It's hot. It's flaming hot. I can't believe it.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Look at you.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
look.
I think this is about right.
Looking like Mr. Viral right there, man.
I think we found it. I am Mr. Trump Viral.
Oh man,
okay,
that's awesome.
Trump 2.0, the actual Trump 2.0. I look a lot better. I gotta say,
man. I like your Trump impression.
I really cleaned it up. I honed in on it. I got the best people in the world. They're all supporting me.
The absolute best. The
best programs. They've all computed and come together with the world's greatest supercomputer. Greatest supercomputer ever created to make Trump 2.0, the digital version. It's amazing.
Let me see if I can join you. Here's one called 1984. There we go. That's a little. Oh, here's a Gremlins. Here's a Gremlins, man.
Look at that. That's incredible. Wonderful effects. That's unbelievable effects.
I love it.
It's really well done.
Hey, man.
Anyway.
Hey, all right. Well, listen, thanks for being on here, Corey. I just wanted to, obviously, we want to talk about your film Going Viral coming out tomorrow. And just wanted to chat with you about that and take a little time doing that. So I appreciate you making the time.
It's a little colder, but besides that.
Hey, you're in LA, right? You're in LA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's snowing. It's snowing.
I know, man.
It's nuts.
I know.
It's crazy.
Hey, I'm in San Diego.
I'm having way too much fun with this stuff. I say.
Hey, check this out.
Oh man, I can't see nothing. Oh, I see it's a Goonies poster. All right.
Yeah.
Like really blurry, but it's coming through a little bit.
Well, listen, man. Now, look, the film Going Viral. I loved it. I was telling everybody about it before you jumped on. I think that people are really going to love it. It's a great way to close out 2024.
Yeah.
And basically,
it's a nice, fun movie for the kids.
Oh, for sure. And it's got so many.
It's a family movie.
For sure. And it's got so many 80s tropes. I absolutely loved it. For us adults, we're going to get all the Easter eggs and a lot of that stuff. And for the younger people, the younger crowd, they're going to just love the story. It's got like that classic 80s, there's a love interest. There's the girl that's his friend. All those things are in there. The sidekick, a lot of fun stuff.
The buddy movie.
Yeah.
the cheesy jokes and
Absolutely.
all that good stuff. But
For sure.
no, I agree with you. I think it's got all the right elements. It feels like you're watching some movie from the 80s, but in an alternate reality because, it's juxtaposing the idea that, in this day and age, you don't have these things, but
Right.
in those days in the 80s when we really didn't have the technology yet, we didn't have followers, we didn't have viral videos, we didn't have our own ability to add to the internet. There was no internet. All those little slight things.
Right.
But anyway, so we kind of created an alternate reality in which there is this sort of a thing. There is the ability to make our own videos, upload them, get followers, get views, all that kind of stuff, and of course go viral with the aid of this guy who's basically the future Jeff Bezos or you know
Mis-
possibly
Mr. Viral. Mr.
yeah,
Viral.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I would say Elon Musk, but I don't think it's more in the Mark, what's his last name? Mark, the
Zuckerberg.
Facebook guy, Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more in the Zuckerberg department, I think. But a cross between Max Headroom and
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
like the graphics in the actual film too, like the way that the characters are being pulled in. I mean, there's a like really high level graphics in the
Well,
movie itself. You know?
well, I would say for today's level graphics, like for a big studio film, it doesn't even come close.
Oh, sure,
But
sure.
for a movie in the 80s, it's actually way better graphics than you would
Yeah,
see. So it kind of
yeah,
throws your mind a little
yeah,
bit because you're like, man, these graphics look amazing.
yeah,
Given the
yeah,
context, we're not used
yeah.
to seeing those type of graphics in that style of a movie or that genre of a movie from that
Sure,
period, right? So
for sure.
when you see it, all of a sudden it kind of catches you like, wow, this looks
Yeah,
really
for
cool.
sure.
So
The opening scene is so good. I love the opening scene.
yeah.
And one of the things I really like is that the way the film spoke to me was like the film deals with online influencer culture.
Right.
I mean, to the extent of what people would go through to just garner fame today. So that really like spoke to me, which I think probably spoke to you
Right.
when you were looking at the film.
Well, when I looked at the script, and
Yeah,
I think that was
yeah,
the thing that I really liked about it was the fact that it had some diversity and it was, most importantly, for me, like when I look at a movie these days, and I don't choose many films. I try to keep it very select because I'm always working. I'm always doing a million things between touring and putting out music and producing other artists and my life is crazy
yeah,
busy. Plus, I'm a dad and
yeah,
all
yeah,
that stuff too. So I'm always going. But
yeah.
that said, if I'm gonna choose a movie, it's either got to be a really interesting choice for the characters, something I can really sink my teeth into and really get all engaged and encompassed in,
Sure.
or it's got to be a great story that is really relatable and I think is going to reach a broad audience, or both. It's got to have one of those two
Absolutely.
elements or
Yeah,
both. And this script definitely has the latter.
yeah.
It definitely has the scope, the breadth to reach out to a younger audience, but also entertain those who are of the older generation. So I think it's a fun family movie during the
Yeah.
holidays. It's perfect timing to release it during Christmas because it's
Agreed.
definitely one of those movies you can put on in the background while you're opening your presents or
That's right.
whatever, and you don't
Yeah.
have to worry about somebody getting offended by something that's on the screen because it's
Totally.
good, clean fun. Good, clean
Total
fun.
clean fun all the way through. I loved seeing a lot of the classic cars, the '80s cars in there, and I thought that all the references, all the movie posters, I just absolutely loved it. And then speaking of that, there are a ton of references in the film in going viral that actually refer to you and your movies that you've been in. And for example, the Plaza Theater marquee shows "Stand by Me" next to a whole bunch of films airing, and then basically there was the Goonies poster that was like on full display most of the time in the film. Whenever you were in Beckett's room, and you're wearing a T-shirt, I noticed that you're wearing a T-shirt that says "Turtle Records and Tapes," and it's got a turtle next to it, which I assume is a reference from you playing Donatello in TMNT 1 and 3 in the '90s. Is that did I catch that right?
Um, I don't know. I honestly, I would have to say I remembered the details, which again, it's very cold here, as you can see, so
I
my
see
brain
that.
is
I
not
see that.
working right.
I see that.
it's a little chilly.
I see that.
No. Honestly, no, I don't remember the details quite that much, unfortunately, because again, it's a, I really was only there a few days.
Yeah, no.
I,
Well,
and
I'll tell you.
memorize my lines, went and did my
That's right.
part. I
So,
can't tell you exactly what the costume looked like, but
so for all of you watching, I want you to think of the scene when you see the movie tomorrow. All right, Corey in the film is at like towards the third, the last act. He comes in and he's wearing a shirt that says Turtles, Turtle Records and Tapes. I guarantee you that that the thought behind that is in the fact that you did voice Donatello
mm.
in the '90s.
I think somebody said that on another interview today, and I guess there was another T-shirt that I wore at another point that was like a reference to one of my movies or something. I don't know. I don't know. There's
That's
these little inside jokes that even I didn't catch because
that's all
again,
right. That's all right.
when I show up on set, I dive into a character, and I honestly don't think beyond that. Like I'm not
Sure.
thinking about what the hidden message of the
I,
director's idea or
I
whatever.
hear you. I hear you.
I'm in the
Well,
zone.
well,
So
look, how fun was this cast to work with? Because look, first of all, I thought Matt Alea, who plays Beckett's sidekick, I thought he was hilarious,
he
and
was really good. Yeah, I thought he
yeah,
had a
and
really natural flair to comedy. I told him that on the
oh,
day too. I
awesome,
said, look,
awesome,
you got a bright future if you keep it up
and,
because you've got the perfect
yeah,
like side
that's right.
guy, kind of witty, loudmouth, kind of brat jerk
Yeah,
kid, that everybody loves
I
to
loved
hate.
it.
He's got that. He's
So
got that.
funny. Eh,
And yeah, the guy who plays Beckett, he has the perfect kind of Corey Haim, all American,
yeah,
doughy eyed,
yep,
every
yep.
girl will love him type kid. And then the guy who plays Mr. Viral
Yeah,
is actually really nice
yeah.
guy. Really nice
I
guy. Lewis, I just can't remember his last name. But yes, his first
yeah.
name is Lewis. He's a
Okay.
comedian, actually. He's a stand-up comedian from Atlanta and a very talented guy. He's actually originally from England. So
Yeah, he's
ironically,
got
he's
the
got an
English
English
accent.
accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No, that's
yeah.
awesome. And so, was the younger cast like aware of the pedigree of your background, your acting? Was there the films that you've been in? I imagine obviously they're probably pretty starstruck. And then, did they mention any of these films? Did they have was there any like fandom that was mentioned on set about some of the films? To you?
No, nobody talked about my films to me. I think
No?
there was, a lot of fear of that. People didn't want to get too close. There's that
Okay.
myth,
Okay.
like don't
Sure.
talk to him. He
Okay.
might, he might ask you for something, or
All right.
he might think you work for him all of a sudden. No, I don't know. Sure. No,
So in the
I
movie,
honestly, you're kind of asking these very kind of deep questions about the moment, and honestly, it's like, we filmed this a year ago. It was maybe 2-3 days I was on the set. It was not a lot of time I spent with these people,
sure.
but all I know is the experience was positive. It was a good experience, and it came out with a good little
That's
product.
awesome. That's awesome. I do want to tell you guys in the audience, when you watch this film, there's a scene in the film where Corey is actually looking back at his time. Basically how
As a
this AI ended up
as a gamer,
as a gamer. Yeah.
right?
And
Yeah.
basically in that flashback, there's like footage from you, like actual footage from back in the day. I thought that was
Oh,
pretty
that's
awesome.
true.
It made
Yeah,
me
yeah, yeah,
smile.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It was so cool. So when you guys are watching the movie, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. But that whole scene, the whole flashback scene, is really one of my favorite scenes in the film. So when you guys are watching it, look for that, and you're gonna be like, aha, I know exactly what that '80s dude is talking about. For someone like you who grew up, as an '80s child star and has like a really special place in the nostalgia community, what was it like? Did you have any revisiting moments? Did the director say to you at any point like, "Hey, Corey, we're going to put these flashback scenes of you from back in the day"? Was there any of that discussion that took place, or was it just like,
Yeah.
"Hey,
Well, I mean, we posed for the pictures with me, like, getting the awards and stuff like that. So
okay,
yeah, we did actually shoot some pictures and uh, a little bit of video, I think, of what was supposed to be me on a red carpet and things like that. So
awesome,
yes, they did that stuff.
awesome"?
Right.
Get into this.
While
Yeah,
we're on the '80s
yeah,
topic, before we switch,
yeah.
are you aware that I just put out a huge movie last month on Amazon, which was in the theaters before it was on Amazon, called The Birthday. Are you aware of this?
No, I'm not.
It's called The Birthday, and
Okay.
it's set in
Okay.
1986. And it's
Okay.
actually a very severe piece of art. It's an art house film, much like a David Lynch film,
Okay.
Twin Peaks kind of vibes.
Okay.
But anyway, it's a dark comedy thriller.
Okay.
I guess is the best way to describe it. It's a piece of folklore because it was actually filmed in 2004,
Okay.
set in 1986, but not released until 2024.
Wow.
So it's a very interesting history. It probably wouldn't have made it out at all if it wasn't for the love of Jordan Peele, who came to my house to watch the movie and then said, "Man, this thing is so terrific. It would literally be wrong for you not to be able to share this with your fans.
Oh,
It's
wow.
literally a disservice to them. So you must get this out because it is a cinematic masterpiece." So with that film, which I was the star of, and it was, every day I was on the set, and it was a very intense piece of cinematography, where we really wanted it to feel like it was the 80s. It had to be very authentically 80s, and
Sure.
set in a hotel in the 80s. So we had to match, the period piece of an old hotel at that time. We had to make sure that all the language, all of the material, the subject matter, the context, the types of catchphrases and sayings and pop culture references all lined up with what was happening in
Love
1986.
it.
So, as an 80s guy, you definitely need to watch that one because
I wrote
there's
it. I
definitely
wrote
a
it
lot
down.
of
I'm.
those.
It's going to
Yeah.
be on my. It's going to be on my viewing this weekend.
A lot,
100%. So is
yeah,
it?
a lot of reference points for you on that one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it
So,
streaming on any particular network,
yeah,
or do I need
yes,
to?
same
Yes.
one,
Okay.
Amazon. I'm taking over Amazon this
Ah,
month.
awesome. Awesome. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
it.
We started streaming it, I believe, right at the end of November. It came out theatrically at the end of October. It was out for a month at Alamo Drafthouse Theaters, and then came out on Amazon right at the end of November there.
That's awesome, man.
And one more for you, which is
Yeah.
I have to promote this my box set. I don't know how familiar you are with my music,
Yeah.
but whether
I
you're a
was just going to
fan
mention that
of my
actually. Yeah.
music or not,
Yeah.
I have a project called Love Left 2.1.
Okay.
And I don't know if you're aware of that project, but it is my box set. And the
Awesome.
box set encompasses six CDs, four CDs, I'm sorry, six discs, four CDs, two
Yeah.
DVDs. And on the two DVDs, I have rare outtakes and performances going all the way back to 1986.
Love
My
it.
first concerts from 1986. My very first performance on the Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards from the very first, the
Yeah.
first ever Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards, which
Right.
was in, I think, 1986 or 1987, something like that. But anyway, so whenever it was, whether it was 87, 88, I don't know, but I'm performing my very first single, Something in Your Eyes, from the movie Dream a Little Dream, which came out in 1989.
That's right.
And
Love
we
it.
actually have a never before seen interview with Jason Robards from the set of that movie
Okay.
in this extra footage stuff. There's a documentary which has brand new interviews with people like Mickey Thomas from Starship and Michael Damian, who did the number one song "Rock On" for the film soundtrack.
Amazing.
And he also actually co-produced and co-wrote my first single from the film soundtrack, which was done with him as my first single, which is the one that I perform on Nickelodeon. So anyway, there's all this stuff. Lita Ford was on my first album. There's all this 80s
Amazing.
stuff
I love
that's
it.
never been released. It's never been seen. A bunch of music that I recorded in the 80s, which had never been released. A music video I shot in the 80s, which had never been released.
All right. All right.
So if you're a big 80s fan, that's something you don't want to
You
pass
know it.
up. Just letting you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I'm so glad you told me. And by the way, Love Left 2.0 is I do know this
2.1.
because I do listen 2.1. You released Love Left back in 1994, the original album,
Correct.
right? See?
Correct.
So I do know a little bit about your music, and I was going to tell
Yeah,
everybody.
no, good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So everybody who's watching right now, you guys, just remember at the end when you watch this film, Corey actually drops a song. I think it's called "Vision of You."
Vision for
Uh,
you.
Vision for You. It's in the film, and if you look at the credits at the very end too, you'll see that Corey, which album and all that. But you can find that Love Left album actually on Spotify or any of the different music
Correct.
listening
So
streaming
there's the
programs.
original Love Left album, which came out in 1994, but that was a compilation of songs that I started working on basically back in like
Okay.
'89. So the thing about the Love Left 2.1 box set is that it has a whole CD of unreleased material that had never been released before, going back to 1986 when I first started
Gotcha.
recording. So my very first single was called Runaway. I shot a video for it. I never released the song, I never released the video,
Okay.
which made it not until 1989 that I put out my first single on vinyl, which was For Dream a Little Dream. So
Love it.
therefore, there was all the stuff that I did in between, and all the stuff I did between '89 and '94, which never made it onto a record or never made it anywhere. I just kind of kept recording and recording and recording. And so I finally dropped all of that stuff, including the original version of Songs from Rock and Roll High School Forever, which was released in
Okay.
1990.
All
So I mean,
right.
there's a
That's
lot
so
of pop
awesome.
culture
Well, let me
in this
tell
thing.
you,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
get added to my audio collection here. As you can see, I've got quite a bit of the
Cool,
audio stuff going on here. This whole section here is audio.
nice.
You recognize that guy? That's Chunk.
I can't, I can't see it. It's a little
Like,
far away. Oh, I see it now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool. Cool,
yeah,
man.
man. So listen, speaking since I just showed this to you, this is really interesting trivia for those of you that may not know this already. But the 40th
I was in the
anniversary.
Goonies. Oh no.
Yeah, yeah. This guy's been in the Goonies. So the 40th anniversary of the Goonies is coming up. It's next year, and actually, coincidentally, Corey, you and I are going to appear in the same film, even though we didn't shoot the same scenes in Life After Movies with and Life After the Goonies. Lisa Downs was here in my studio, and we recorded some footage for the documentary next year. And I'm super thrilled about that. Obviously, being a fan of yours for a long time, and but how crazy is it? 40 years of the Goonies, man. I mean, it's obviously the greatest kids adventure film of all time, bar none. But 40 years, man, and you still look great. You still
I
look
don't
great. Look
believe
at
it.
you.
Well, the weirdest part is because I'm only 22, so I'm still trying to figure out how is this possible. The math doesn't work out for me, but
Oh
yeah.
man, no, that's awesome. I'm super
No,
pumped about that. And how
you
about
know,
this, Adam
there's gonna
F. Gold?
be a bunch of Goonies reunions this year, given that it's gonna be the 4.0
Yeah,
anniversary.
yeah,
So I know that there's gonna be a bunch of get-togethers and doing Comic Cons and stuff like that.
right.
I think we're plotting a few surprises.
Yeah, I'm gonna
So
be
everybody should stay tuned.
100%. All right, so let's get to the last part of this. All right, I want to know if at the end of that shoot, when you guys wrapped, if anyone offered you a veal scallopini or a good fettuccine alfredo and a bottle of fettuccine in 1981. Did somebody do that for you?
Yes, everybody actually. So it's funny you brought that up. It was the only thing on the menu. It was so weird. At lunchtime, that's exactly what they were serving.
Oh
So
man.
how did you know? They must have told you. They must have told you.
I've been on the line. I've been on the line with these guys. Well, listen. Before we close, Corey, I just want to ask you a couple things that I think the audience is going to have fun with. I want to know, like, what is your favorite '80s flick? You know, aside from anything you've been in, what
Oh
is that? What is out there that is
man,
like you
I
love it?
don't think I could. I don't think I could tell you just one because there's so many great movies that came out in that time period.
100%. Sure,
Uh,
sure.
you
What
know,
is it? What is like a
anything
go-to?
from
What's a go-to film for Sea Dog?
look, last night, it's Christmas time, so we're watching only Christmas movies at my house right now on the big screen. But
Okay.
last night we projected Scrooged, which
Oh
is a
yeah,
great
man.
1980s movie,
Bill Murray, man, for
directed by
sure.
none other than my dear friend Richard. It was like almost like a
That-
homecoming for me just
That's
watching that
awesome.
last night because you had J. Michael Riva, who is the production designer. He was on the Goonies. You had Michael Chapman as the DP. He was also the DP for Lost Boys.
Love it,
You had Anne Ramsey in there from Goonies who played Mama. You had Richard Donner
man.
producing, which means, pretty much
Yeah,
everybody on the crew was carried over. So, I mean, that was
love it.
like home week for me watching that. And, all that stuff. Yeah, obviously, it brings back childhood memories
Yeah, for
because
sure.
those were my families during that decade,
That's awesome.
But so many great films came. I mean, the Star Wars trilogy,
For sure.
the
For sure.
E.T.,
Yeah.
Back to the Future trilogy,
Oh,
Indiana Jones
for sure.
trilogy. I mean,
we were spoiled.
Does it end?
We were
Yeah,
spoiled for
exactly.
sure,
And
100%.
you match that up to what we've had in the last 7 years, and it doesn't come close.
For
Even the
100%.
greatest of my films in the last 7 years doesn't come close. The Birthday comes close, but unfortunately we shot that 20 years ago, so it still doesn't come close.
Well, look, man, I really appreciate you being on here. I want to just give you a minute here if you want to share anything with the audience. You want to say anything about the film with them, or anything that I know you said your box sets dropped. It's on Amazon, I assume, right? It's available there.
No, it's
No.
not. The only way
Okay.
you can get Love Left 2.1 is by going to my website,
Okay.
CoreyFeldman.net.
Okay.
And
I'm
you can get lots of
writing it
stuff
down.
from that website.
Cool.
CoreyFeldman.net, you can get the box set, Love Left 2.1, but you can also get my newest album, because we've already put out a new album after that, which is called Love Left 2 Army with Love. That's part of the box set, but you can also get it separately now. So if you wanted to just get, say, like the wallet and the magazine, you can get that separately. But we also have the newest product we've put out this year, which was Funko Pops. I now have my
Okay.
very own rock and roll Funko Pops. You
Awesome.
get those at CoreyFeldman.net. You can still get copies of my book, Choreography, signed pictures, all my CDs, blah, blah, blah. I'll sign anything you
Awesome.
want. Take it for half price. I don't care. No, we're giving things away. We're giving things away.
Oh
No,
man.
we did. We actually just had a big Christmas sale. We had a Black Friday sale where we dropped the prices of everything 50%. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
So yeah, we do stuff like that from time to time.
That's awesome.
It's a reliable internet
Yeah.
store.
Hey, you guys, you heard him, CoreyFeldman.net. Make sure you're there. You drop, and then before I let you go, Corey, one last question. What is your favorite character that you play? And we'll kind of close it down with that.
Again, I got to give it to my favorite movie that I've done to date, and that would be The Birthday. So,
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
this holiday season, don't miss the two
You
films
got
that
it.
I've got streaming on Amazon, because not only are they the most recent, but they happen to be some of my best work. So,
Awesome.
The Birthday, and of course, going viral on Amazon for the
And
holidays.
Apple TV. Let me
It's gonna be
know.
unbelievable. It's gonna be unbelievable.
It will be unbelievable. It will be. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you
Huge
for
fan.
supporting,
And
brother. Thank you. We appreciate your support.
got it. My
God bless
pleasure.
you, 80s dude.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Peace and love.
See you guys. Stay rad.
God
All right.
bless.
God bless.
Okay, thanks.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye bye.